Amen. What a beautiful tribute to black women. Black girls rock. It is indeed my privilege and a special treat to introduce our speaker for this morning, let me get this right, Dr. Daniel Black. I'm very proud to introduce him. Just personally, he's my big cousin. One of those people that not just as a family member makes you proud, but as a black man makes you proud. Dr. Daniel Black was born in Kansas City, Kansas, although he spent the majority of his childhood in Blackwell, Arkansas. He was raised there on the 500 acres of land that his great-grandfather purchased from emancipation. He was a child who loved to read. Danny, as he is affectionately known, was always a great student. He graduated from Morrilton High School in 1984 in the top, get this, 2% of his class. He was awarded a full four-year scholarship to attend Clark College in Atlanta, and when he went there, he was the only male English major. And he maintained a 3.8 to 4.0 GPA during his time there, and he was awarded the Oxford Modern British Study Abroad Award, where he attended Oxford University during his junior year. When he graduated from Clark College, magna cum laude, in 1988, he got another full graduate fellowship and pursued his Doctor of Philosophy degree in African American Studies at Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There, he worked on a dissertation entitled Dismantling Black Manhood, an historical and literary analysis of the concept of manhood as found in select black male slave narratives. What was also notable about his time there was that one of his dissertation advisors was renowned and nationally acclaimed poet and public speaker Sonia Sanchez. She still serves as one of his mentors today. Dr. Black returned to his alma mater, now Clark Atlanta University, in 1993, and he began a teaching career there as an associate professor in the Department of English. Since 2004, he's also taught in the African American Studies Department and also part-time at Morehouse College. He also founded the Ndugu Nzinga Rites of Passage Society. This is an organization that aims to teach character and principle to African American youth. This organization does cater to college students and has boasted 90% college graduates and has produced some 25 PhDs.
All right.
Also, he is a prolific writer, novelist, and he has written a book called They Tell Me of a Home, and it has been read in classrooms across America, was nominated in 2006 for the Townsend Award in Fiction. His second novel, The Sacred Place, was released in February 2011 and was chosen as a required reading for all the incoming freshmen at Clark Atlanta University. His third novel, Perfect Peace, was released in March of 2010 and has been nominated for the Lambda Georgia Book of the Year, the Farrell Grumbley Literary Award, and the Ernest Gaines Prize. He's traveled across America, lecturing and doing book signings at colleges, and bookstores, and churches, and to mesmerize audiences. His charismatic reading and vocal power leave listeners transformed everywhere he goes. Dr. Black is also a musician. He is a scholar, a public speaker, a writer, a literary critic, a choir director, and a mentor to literally hundreds of black youth. His aim is to change the world one self-loving child at a time. What a treat we are in for this morning that we have Dr. Daniel Black joining us to share with us at this special Black History program. We just ask that we would pray for him and open our eyes and our minds and our spirits and our hearts for what the Lord would say to us through Dr. Daniel Black. With no further ado, I present to you Dr. Daniel Black, Professor of English and African American History, Clark Atlanta University and Morehouse College.
Good morning. Thank you all. Thank you. I'm ecstatic to be here. I'm kind of living a dream these days. God has brought me from a long way. I bring you greetings from the Blackwell Happy Ben community. My daddy said, you be sure and tell everybody out there, hey. And he said, you better have something to say, because you know I got to get the report. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited about what God has done in my life, what God has done through me. I'm excited to be saved in this day and in this hour. I'm excited that I love knowledge. I'm excited to be a man these days who has just determined that I'm going to give my all until my people shine again. Because that's just the kind of people I come from. You know? And I see so many familiar faces as I was walking in, I was like, oh my God. And I'm just so glad to see everyone. Thank you to all of you for being here. Leela is the one who made this happen. I'm book touring, I'm teaching full-time this semester. The favor of God is falling on me in a kind of way that sometimes I wake up in the morning and I say, is this real? Perfect Peace, my third novel, is in its 10th printing as of last week. This is going on and on. It's absolutely amazing. And I have a new novel that just came out a month or so ago called 12 Gates to the City. And if those of you back home, you'll read that book and you'll know some things. You'll recognize some things and some people. But I was on the plane and I said, God, what would you have me to say to both these, my people, these, my relatives? These are people who decide on a Saturday afternoon, Black history is important enough to gather. So we can recognize this and talk about it. And this is what came to me. We began this story on the slave ship. Those ships which carried African people across the great waters and into lands they had never known. We were the Fulani then, the Wolof, the Serere, the Igbo, the Hausa, the Fawn, the Mandinka, the Akan, the Susu, and the Tree. But on those ships, we became one people. One united, joined together Black people who would only survive, we knew, if we could put aside our tribal differences and think as one people. That's what we did, and we survived. Then, on the American plantation, they tried to divide us again by selling us away from one another. Mothers from daughters, fathers from sons, until the Black family was almost destroyed. But I say almost because it was not destroyed. We figured out something, my people, today. We figured out how to make a mama simply from those women in the communities. We adopted daddies from men who were simply willing to love and provide for children they did not birth. We made brothers and sisters from distant cousins. And we found grandmothers and grandfathers among those who had retired. Yes, they almost destroyed us, but they didn't. They wanted to ruin us, yes, but they couldn't. They hoped to make us hate ourselves and others, but we just wouldn't. They tried to convince us that God didn't love us, but we knew better. They told us we were stupid, Ariane. They said we were ugly. They said we were ignorant. But we told ourselves we were Black and beautiful, sexy, fly, and fine. And that no demon in hell was going to stop us. In the 1960s, we joined arms and marched for civil rights until they had no choice but to recognize our collective power. People died that we might live. Fannie Lou Hamer, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, thousands of others. Now we sit anywhere on the bus we want to. Now we eat anywhere we choose. Now we stay at the best hotels and the best restaurants in the land. But y'all, something still ain't right. Yes, public education is free, but we still won't read. We shop any store we want to. And somehow our young boys buy pants so big that they show all of their behinds. Something went wrong. And I know what it was. This was the answer. We wanted our children to read, yes, but we didn't buy books. We wanted our children to be respectful, but we argued in front of them. We wanted our boys to respect black women, but black men, we treated them like dogs. We wanted our girls to respect themselves as they watched their mothers bring in any trifling man they want. No, we were not supposed to be perfect, no. But we were supposed to do what we were asking our children to do. Instead, we gave our children the easy life. We bought them more clothes than they could ever wear. We bought them more sneakers than they could ever wear out. We put TVs in their rooms, gave them allowances for absolutely no work. We let them talk to us any kind of way, come in well past their curfews with no serious repercussions. We let them drive our own cars and they didn't have to put a piece of gas in. We let our own children decide what they wanted to eat. We let them decide they didn't want to go to church anymore. We let them decide that they wanted to spend private time with girlfriends and boyfriends in our own basement. We gave our children money after they had blown their own. We let them live with us and they didn't pay a dime in rent. We were still deciding that we were going to give them everything we had even after we died. And still we can't figure out why they ain't motivated. We have the brightest, we have the most beautiful children on the planet Earth. No one can dispute that. But we gave them far too much. A black child's life should in fact look like this. When you rise in the morning, they rise. When you get ready for church, they should already be ready. They should know that we go every Sunday. No, you don't send them. We go every Sunday. And there are no exceptions. They should say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, no, sir, and no, ma'am, to every adult they meet. They should know that the only acceptable grade is an A. A B stands for, well, you know what that stands for. They should know that we eat at 6:30, and whatever's on the table is indeed what you like. They should know that they are loved and they are adored. And you should say it every chance you get. They should know that to be drunk is unacceptable for a grown person, and they should know that smoking weed is absolutely out. They should know that every member of the family has work to do. They should know that a 17-year-old ain't got no business with a baby, and a 21-year-old ain't got no business marrying nobody. They should know that the only way you get support is if you work. When a child outgrows these parameters, it's time for them to go. And to go is a good thing. I cannot tell you how I was ready to leave Harold Black's house. Because now, they'll take with them all the principles and all the discipline you taught. And when the going gets tough, they'll hang in there because they know how to get up in the morning. When they don't feel like going to work, they'll go anyway because you made them do it.
Okay.
When they can't find what they want to eat, they'll be able to eat sardines and crackers, buy in the sausages, and still go to bed and give God thanks. They'll understand what it means to pray in season and out of season, because you did it. Y'all, we've come too far as a people to let our children be lazy. Now we have to teach black children how to put their hands on the plow and to hold on. Yes, they can cry and complain about it. We cry and complain too. But that doesn't mean compromise the standard. It means teach them how to cry without quitting. This is their legacy. This is their inheritance. This is the only way black children are going to win this race. And I'm here to tell you today, we are going to win this race. We've paid far too much not to. We've come this far by faith. Roll up your sleeves, elders, and get ready. Get the children awake. We have more work to do. There is one more river to cross. And after we cross that river, we'll study war no more. Because once again, the world will see that you can stomp on a black man, but you'll never keep him down. The world will see that you, yes, can insult a black woman, but you will never, ever break her. We are resilient people. We are God's people. We are God's chosen people. We are people who will never, ever be destroyed. We are people who, if you just turn around and look back for just a minute, if the children could ever sit down and really understand what daddy and mama were saying when they talked about how far they had to walk to school, when they talked about what it meant to chop cotton all day and just dream about being in the classroom. And now you have a free air-conditioned building that won't go. If we could ever just get clear about this by teaching our children, you do not do what I say. Do what I did. Thank you.